We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed!
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. With me, as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And we have a guest in the Nerd Room. Welcome to the Nerd Room, Benny.
How's it going? Pleasure to meet you guys. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks
awesome.
for joining us.
Hey, everybody there.
And for all the polite things you had to say when you
Oh,
were
wow.
introduced to
You
it.
guys have an amazing house, and a deer followed me on the way in, basically. A deer. You guys have, like...
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you're already starting with the puns already.
Dope.
Anyway. That makes it two. I got nothing.
That's the theme of the show.
I
so
can tell.
We'll
I can
get used
tell.
to it. And, of course, with us, as always, he's in the intern camp. Come on, be ready for it.
Come on, intern.
Oh, sorry, I had to turn the
Get your mic
thing
ready.
on. And it's
fired.
me back. Oh, all right. Well, I'll just leave.
Go home.
Have fun doing the sound good. Idiots.
You're doing what I do every day, so you'll get used to it. You'll
Thanks.
get used to it.
I look up to you.
So before
Come on.
we get too far into the shenanigans, because we always talk too much and we digress, we
Good
go over
beer.
to Jay for the most important part of the show.
Yeah, beer.
Tell us all about it, Jay.
Today we are drinking Finger Gun Session IPA 4.8% from Iron Horse
Right.
Brewing Company out of Ellensburg, Washington. So it's supposed to be very hoppy and obviously lighter-bodied IPA. So
Cool.
figured we're going to be recording a little while. We might get a couple episodes in.
Awesome.
Take
We
it a
don't want
little
to be
easier.
too
Smells fantastic.
too loopy. It does
It
smell really
smells
good.
amazing.
I'm always a huge fan. Like, I don't smell too many beers. Like, we have a lot of people that come into our stations and stuff like that, and it's like wine people. But then they're constantly putting, their nose up to the glass. But as in the last couple of years, I've been doing that more too, rather than just taking it right down. But this is amazing. It smells great. So
we
good
like to
choice.
attack our nose and then our eyes and then our throat.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And then
All in
hopefully as the show goes on, our attitude.
I'm agreeing with that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's quite cloudy, actually.
It is. I was kind of
Quite
surprised by
cloudy. A few floaties. Looks well
that.
carbonated.
Is that a East Coast thing? The
Usually.
cloudy IPAs?
But it's
Yeast
not
Coast.
Yeast Coast.
Heyo.
See, on it. Mark one down for Jack.
It's the only one you're going to get today.
Yeah.
That's it. The only one.
If only that were true.
Yeah. But no, it looks amazing. I like the color. It's a little more pale in color than I was expecting, but not too much considering it's only a session.
Yeah.
So,
Which
but,
is this is kind of a high session though, right?
4.8,
It's a
yeah.
little bit on the higher side. I
Yep.
thought it was 4.5.
I mean, considering that your standard IPAs now are 7%, so
Yeah.
Which is strong.
yeah, and
By any
that's what a double IPA used to be
Yeah.
Right.
5-10 years ago.
Right.
The number standards have definitely grown.
So looking at that, I mean, between 4, 5, and 5 was probably like my range too.
Yeah.
Anything more would just be like, all right, I have to take the rest of the night off.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
Cool.
let's,
Should we taste it?
Cheers.
So, on the wall. Don't worry about messing it up.
Oh.
Everybody does the first time. We'll kind of do it together. To all the nerds,
through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's
get
get
nerd
nerd
I
buzz.
like that. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
We'll do it again at the end, so you get another chance.
Good finish.
Wow. It's very dry. Very,
I
very
agree.
dry.
I agree.
dry.
It goes down pretty easy, but then, yeah, it fades away pretty quickly for that dryness.
The hops, they're very, they attack you on all fronts. They're bitter, they're
very,
flavorful,
like-
they're, wow.
It's very floral.
Yes, they're using the Azaka hop, which is kind of a floral hop. Which is
I like it when I say something about the beer, and then Jeremiah goes, "Yes, you're correct."
I don't get as much. I don't get as much of the floral essence, but there's a little more of the hop that I pinpoint on. But if you want to go back to if you want to compare it to like a Lucille has amazing floral, which I do not like. So this is better than that, obviously.
Yeah.
I do like that, but this is really good.
No, they put
Excellent.
a good amount of bittering in there, and I'm just gonna see.
That probably is what levels it out.
Yeah, I
that
was gonna see
floral.
which one it is that has it here. I'm not seeing it real quick here on the
Damn it, Jay.
can. But yeah,
You're
anyway.
supposed to do your homework.
Right? Seriously.
I mean, I was expecting, you know,
Well, sorry.
Don't expect too much. That's where you
encyclopedia
failed.
knowledge.
Is the
Like,
expectation.
Look what
Yeah.
shirt I'm wearing. I mean, that's where I went to school. So, like, I mean, come on, let's bring it in. No, I'm just joking.
Represent.
Good shirt.
I know, right? The what?
Good shirt though.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. We're doing fairly well this year.
We actually are.
So, should we move on to our theme for the show?
Sure.
I'm in.
Because it's Halloween,
Yep.
right? So we thought we'd talk about a little bit of scary stuff. We're still going to play our nerd play, Metal Gear Solid 5. It's amazing we have it.
Sorry,
Play
I'm
it,
not in
get it for
costume.
free.
You're
Yeah,
not?
none of us are, right? Yeah. You should see me on any other day. And before we do that, we should promote ourselves. So please shrink the screen because I'm sure it's full size so you can appreciate our faces in their full glory. And hit like and share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Smash the button. And you can also go to patreon.com/nerdbuzzed if you'd like to get a wonderful Nerdbuzz shirt. Right? $35 or more. I'd like to stress or more can get you a Nerdbuzzed shirt plus some stickers and a magnet. And also you can go to nerdbuzz.com where you can listen to any episode of Nerdbuzz or watch it 100% free as opposed to...
Any other percentage of free.
That's right. So now we get into our Halloween stuff. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Be safe. Don't run over any little children that are dressed like monsters or whatever. Probably superheroes.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
That's the
Marvel
theme.
superheroes. Okay, Batman's the exception.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let it slide with that. And Wonder Woman for the ladies.
Of course.
Or the little dudes,
And
whatever. We don't
Superman.
discriminate. No Superman.
Everyone dresses as Superman.
No.
Well,
that's
they
not
do
okay.
Clark Kent. They don't go full. They just have the shirt underneath, and they just pull one of those. One of my coworkers
that's
does it every
lazy.
year. I'm like, you gotta get past the Clark Kent. But he can pull it off because he's got the glasses. I get that, but it's like
Clark
really, dude?
Kent's the worst. You would want to be
you're
him
playing
for the
two of them at the
beginning of the
same
night.
And really, how good of an investigative reporter could she be if she couldn't pick up the...
Right?
Not
Right? Come
Just
on.
not a good one.
You failed, Lois.
But yeah, Jimmy always taking those good photos, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so he had his back, I guess.
But then he also has to deal with all the baggage. I feel bad for Jimmy.
He did.
He doesn't get the recognition he deserves. If he wasn't such a panty waste.
Wow.
Anyway, scary movies, right?
Well, scary whatever. Whatever
Scary
scared you as a
whatever.
kid.
Yes, as a child.
Yeah. Or now, I mean, if that gets to you.
Yes.
I never get scared ever.
That's
Traffic.
not true. I get
I-5.
scared every time you
I-5
show
scares
up,
me.
Jack.
Oh, we could scare you, I'm sure.
I'm going to put a mirror in front of the intern camp, and you'll be scared every time you show up.
Oh, good one.
Just for you.
Haven't heard that one
Ayo.
before.
Yeah.
You're an intern in camp. You're already and should be scared.
Yeah, right?
I mean-
yeah.
Okay,
That's right.
it's not over.
And we put out some posts out there for
Yeah.
people to get engaged
There's quite
with.
a few.
And should we run through what some people said?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
So we had somebody who mentioned Critters.
Which was the most cheesiest, hilarious thing.
I didn't find it scary.
I love
no,
that
not at
movie.
all.
That's the thing. The cheese
Let's roll.
overrode it. Yeah, right?
Yeah. With the toilet scene, right? Aren't they the ones that came out of the toilet? Is that Critters?
No, that was
Gremlins
Gremlins. wasn't
Gremlins
it?
were
They were the
Yeah,
little like fur balls.
Yeah,
I'll get a picture.
The critters were the alien fur balls that, as they ate things, they grew.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the big grins.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
giant.
I didn't really get into it.
No.
No. Well, that's kind of how I feel about most horror things. I was never a diehard horror fan.
No.
Really.
Yeah, neither was I.
Yeah. So we're going to
Well,
talk about
most of
it,
them-
being
most
the
of them didn't-
experts
Yeah,
we
right.
are, clearly.
There we
Right.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, just ugly.
All right, you're
Just ugly.
rehired.
Not even scary, just ugly.
Way to go. 2 cents back in your 401k. It starts all over again, but we start out at 2
You guys
cents.
match? Awesome.
Right? Yeah.
For you. I wasn't matched for over 10 years. I'm getting a job here.
We also had The Birds, which when I was a kid, that was a movie that scared the crap out of me.
See, I don't know why it didn't scare the crap out of me.
I think I watched it when I was like 4. Like super little. My mom thought
I
it
think
was a
I was
good
a little-
idea
I
to
think I
show
was a
that
little
movie to
older
me,
than that
and
when
then I
I
couldn't
I found
sleep
it
for a
very
week.
close to reality, so I will agree. Birds kind of scared me. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, if you get into Alfred Hitchcock films, that's what he made him so suspenseful, and it built and built and built, and then he just dropped this massively crazy scene of being attacked by birds, and like, I didn't like it. It scared me too.
It scared me. I was
I had
totally
forgotten
scared of
about
birds
that,
for
but
a
that's
little
in
while.
there.
Yeah, and there's that. The one scene I remember is the bird totally pecking out the eyeball.
Oh, right?
Remember?
Yeah.
And it had the little eyeball dangling from it. I was like, and again, I'm like 4, maybe 5.
It could.
That was a
think-
bad idea, Mom.
I was a little older when I saw that though, so
Yeah. The other one everybody kept saying was The Shining.
yeah, that one creeped me out quite a bit, but I don't know what it is. Stephen King. It's just Stephen King.
Yeah,
You just-
right. Same kind of from the same kind of weird, eerie, creepy, scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not so much the grotesque.
Yeah.
It had some scenes in there, like the old lady, right? That he's like
All right.
whatever, and she gets all weird and rotted out.
Well, and Jack Nicholson, he was just freaky scary.
he was.
Just,
Yes.
He played that role very well.
He's just a terrifying human being.
Right, and he could easily just flip on it like a switch and see.
Yeah.
He could just be down the street and he could do that to you. He just has that personality that was
He's
perfect
just
for
a-
that
or
role.
Speaking of
or
him,
lack of. I
Yeah,
guess,
right, exactly,
right, yeah.
exactly.
Speaking of him, one thing that did creep me out when I was younger was not the character, but the scene in when he's getting the facial reconstruction in Batman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That one
right.
scene creeped me out.
that
First time I saw it.
I love how much in that movie he just embraces this psychotic side of the Joker. He does it really, really well. Where do they get a load of me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to add on like the first 3 movies, well maybe not Critters, we'll throw that one out, but like
Sorry, Josh.
I mean it's a nice try, Valiant.
Sorry, Pompoko was way more.
With the directing though, that was the sign of those the times of those movies though. They made them suspenseful. It grew and grew and grew until it finally dropped. Now it's like it seems like it's just so
It's all shock
it's
or
shock and it's quick.
Yeah.
Like a little shot of like espresso or something like that, not like a nice full body cup of cappuccino or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I totally
well, that's something
agree.
that we've been
yeah.
talking about with as a running theme when we talk about movies in general is just how
How much they can get in front of your face.
how
quick as they
how
can.
fast paced movies are now,
Right.
and how they're telling you everything instead of leaving it up to your imagination.
Bingo.
And what you're going to figure out
That's
yourself.
what I love.
And that's like I said,
Yep.
the ones that creeped me out were the ones that they didn't give you all the information, and you were trying to figure it out
Sure.
yourself, and that was creeping it out more than anything. Because I
Yeah.
think you were scaring yourself more than it was scaring you.
Like The Shining,
yeah.
the whole hotel, like he's walking down like
Exactly.
an empty hallway. You've been down that road before
Yeah.
in that hallway. Like you get kind of creeped out if you've seen the movie. You're like, okay, it's a really empty hallway I'm looking at right now, and then it just flashes over your memory, and then you
Yeah.
start walking like this is It goes over you. Before a newer movie, something already jumps out at you by then.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have time to process that. You have time to process an empty hallway.
But yeah,
Which-
well, it's kind
no
of funny
thanks.
that you bring that up. 'Cause that's
No
something
thanks.
I used to love doing was like breaking into older, abandoned stuff,
Oh yeah.
and it's just how quiet it is, dark it is, lack of noise.
So you're on house arrest right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, no.
That's what I thought.
when it's-
That's why I had to drive up here, right?
Getting
yeah,
into it.
I get it now. Okay.
But no, I'm serious. Like an abandoned building, or like if you've been at Fort Casey when they used to let you go into all the tunnels and stuff
I
and
haven't.
stuff. Yeah, they've got them all sealed off now, but you used to be able to go down in there.
Oh, like it was, yeah.
That
I
was
remember that.
kind of stuff. Getting into those tunnels and getting into that, like an old warehouse and stuff. Just that was like creepy. And then when you bring up the hotel, that's totally the same idea, same
Yeah.
psychological idea. There.
It was reality.
Yeah.
It's real now, and it was then that made it now. It's still to us, But
Well, and he was such he was totally this like everyday guy that through the course of the movie just loses it.
it can
Yeah.
be anybody.
Right?
It can
Like,
be anybody.
he is just totally this relatable guy who's just trying to be the writer and take his family along and take care of everything, and then just becomes a lunatic. I love the scene when he's just typing away and she looks to see what he's typing, and it's just over and over and over, right? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Just over that, just pages of it. It's like Psycho.
Yep.
No, that was a good one. My dad showed me that one. That was his when I was way too young, and I also didn't sleep
Just
for
to
a couple
see how
weeks.
you would
Yeah,
squirm
right,
and sit
yeah.
still. Yeah.
He's done that with. There's a couple others on here that he did that too. Made some poor decisions. I was the firstborn, so I got all of the poor decisions. I was that child, right? Let's see
Explains
how
a
it goes
lot.
with this
That
one,
explains a
and-
lot.
right? Yeah. Enough said.
You're good. You're good.
So that was the first one, but it was the way overprotected one.
Oh, see, then with the other round,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty funny. Also, somebody mentioned The Dark, and I've never seen The Dark.
I've never seen The Dark
I don't
either.
know what The Dark
I don't know what it is.
Maybe it was an incomplete sentence. The dark what?
Maybe, right? Yeah.
No,
Maybe
it's-
they're just
Yeah,
leaving
I'm-
us hanging. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Look it up, Jack.
On it, intern boy.
That's right.
You should have been looking that up already.
See?
These are the things of what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Producer, internship. Come on now.
See, right?
I'm not in that
I'm gonna get
seat
a
right
whip.
now. I can relax.
I need a whip over here. The other one,
It has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
and it is just The
So
Dark.
it is a movie.
Yeah,
so it's not a
just
typo.
The Dark, 2005.
Oh, well, that's it right
Oh.
there. 2005.
Wait.
Not much happened.
I'm getting
Right.
a lot of
Nothing,
different
not much
Nothing happened in
good.
2005.
Exactly.
One of them looks like an Oh, that's an animated movie by Lemony Snicket. But I think they're talking about it has Sean Bean, so I wonder who dies in that one. And then Marzarello or something. It's two separate. Oh, Mariabello. It was like a low grain or low quality picture.
Like a B film.
I don't know what
When
it
you
is.
go up, like
Exorcist.
that movie in particular, like let's say, like it's obviously a good movie, The Dark. But what did it go up against that weekend? So it could have been crushed by another bigger film, like like Titanic or something
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, it's
Okay,
gonna get
that's a
30.
good point.
So
Yeah.
it may have done better, could have, but what was it up against that year? Then you'd have to do more research.
I found with
Mr.
Rotten
Internal.
Tomatoes,
Yeah.
though, if it's got to be like 30% or below, it's excellent. And if it's like 75% or higher, it's
Who
excellent.
really believes
Yeah,
Rotten
yeah.
Tomato stuff, anyways?
No, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if it's right in the middle, if like 50,
Oh, yeah.
60% like it, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think most horror movies kind of get brushed to the wayside typically when they get
Well, because
released
you already know
anyway,
what
right?
it's going to be about. It's going to scare you, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why. You're there
Oh.
to watch a scary movie.
Segue. Speaking of movies getting brushed aside, I guess that is a good point also of what it's going against. The Thing released 14 days after E.T. and it just got shut down. And The Thing is
right.
a special effects masterpiece. It is one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. I could
Jack
talk
is
about
in
it
love
all
with
day.
the thing. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
tell.
apparently.
Yeah.
It's so gross, and I watch it today, and the only scene that really doesn't hold up is the last scene because they used a claymation with like the half dog, half man guy
Yeah.
that he blows up, the last supposed monster.
The
but-
last thing.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a whole theory about how it was like the black dude, he was the last one because he drank gaslight. It's a whole thing. It's a
It's
whole
always a black guy. It's always
Right?
a black
I know.
guy.
I'm
that
glad
dies
somebody
in the
said
end.
it.
Well,
Yeah, I'm glad somebody
Someone
Kurt
already
Russell
said
has
it.
to.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell has to survive.
Yes.
Because he's Kurt Russell.
Because he's a white guy.
Yeah.
And
I think
because
it's
he's
'cause
Kurt Russell.
Russell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Come
right.
on. Yeah.
No, but
He also has to drive a
it has
truck.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a great film, and it sucks that E.T., that crappy, dumb little robot thing. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like something that I would look down after I take a dump.
Yeah.
E.T. is a very heartwarming film, and you
Oh,
do
you
not
shut
just
your
bash
mouth.
that.
He's a
I
lot
wish
of head and neck.
it would have been killed by one of the
Yeah.
monsters from the thing.
I'm holding myself back so hard right now.
Yeah.
You're slamming
E.T.
me.
was classic when I was a
Yes.
kid, man.
See, you don't get it, I think. That's
Yeah,
the
I
point.
get it.
You
I really
don't
think you don't.
The
get it.
thing is way cooler. I would much rather watch the thing than
When did you watch The
a little
Thing?
boy touching
Right.
tips with an alien.
How-
I think someone should call the
How old were you
police.
when you watched the thing?
The Thing. I was like 4 or 5. That was a bad decision.
But that's not when it
But-
came out.
no.
Yeah.
It came out in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also watched E.T. around them, and to this day, I always preferred the Thing. I mean,
Well, good
because
for
they're
you.
not similar in any way.
I'll give you kudos,
Yeah,
but I think
thank
you're
you.
wrong.
Yeah, no, I would disagree also. E.T.'s a
I
classic.
control
is.
your sound.
E.T.'s
so
E.T. has that,
have
like-
fun.
I could jump on his mic.
I
his
think,
mic.
well, like we were talking beforehand, you're like a fan of Stranger Things, right?
That wasn't bad.
A bit. Yeah.
E.T. has that feel though, where it's like the group of the kids that have to come together to take care of whatever.
I thought-
it's
I
very
think
much
the
like
thing,
E.T.
okay. Yeah.
Or like
I
the
guess.
Goonies, right? It's got
Yeah.
that like
Yeah,
80s
it
feel
does.
of like, come on.
Stand by Me,
It's more
right?
of an
Right here
it,
with you.
Yeah,
right? It's
come
more
on.
of an it because
Yeah,
it's
Stand
kids
by Me also.
Exactly.
That's a sweet
evil
movie.
things or like a spooky bad guy instead of because E.T. It's like the kids.
I don't know.
saving the
We
thing.
voted, and you're
Yeah.
wrong.
You're wrong.
All right.
Wait, real fast. We're relatable to those films because our age
Yeah.
of the children in the films were around when
Yeah,
we were really
totally
getting into
true.
the movies.
Yeah.
So for me to ask you though, why are you so hardcore with the thing in general? Is it how they designed it, how they made it, or why is it so good to you?
The special effects are really gross. I like the tension. I like the mystery. There's so many questions in my mind that I'm trying to answer of like, where did it come from? What is it?
Which is what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, the new one kind of ruined that because they're like, whoa, big spaceship crashed, and whoa, they try to explain it more, and it also doesn't use like practical effects. So
And
Yeah.
none of that you got from E.T. See?
know.
Yeah,
Look,
right?
look,
Yeah,
see
yeah,
how he
yeah.
has to pause?
all right. I mean, okay,
You need to
maybe
watch
it's.
it. You need to watch it. I've
All right,
also
I'll
interviewed...
rewatch it.
Come on, like when he turns all white and he's gonna die, which we all thought looked like a weird,
don't think
weird
that's gonna
dog
get
turd
you
in the
right
yard,
here?
right? We all thought
Nah.
that. But he's gonna die, and then the plant starts to come back, and the kid
You
Elliot
know what
freaks
gets
out.
me?
You don't
Kurt
remember
Russell being in danger.
I will give you.
You have a man crush on Kurt
Big
Russell.
Big Trouble in Little China is amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Can't
like
wait for the
that
remake.
is the hands
oh
down.
wait, I can. Please don't
Yeah,
remake it.
don't-
Just make a sequel.
Don't ruin that
Okay,
movie.
the monsters in that were kind of creepy though.
In Big Trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a sweet. And Raiden's in there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It has a
right? Yeah.
beholder in it. I thought that was pretty cool.
The movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Can
point
we
is,
agree on
next
that?
movie.
Okay.
Let's leave on a high note here.
It is good. Yeah.
Well, while we're on the subject, it was something I wanted to bring up because I think it speaks to our generation of watching scary movies compared to what we get now. When we were kids, everything was like practical effects. It was like real. It was like animatronics, and now everything's digital. And I, as a kid, watching the little creepy animatronic movements and stuff, that creeped me out way more.
Yeah.
Like Chuck E. Cheese.
yeah.
Or the Chucky,
Mechanical rat and all
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And it's all like, hey, everybody, hey,
Yeah.
kids. And you're like, no, thanks.
Yeah,
Like, and you
totally,
wanted to go in
right?
the ball pit, but you couldn't.
Yeah.
Because you had to get by it.
because he's got this weird seizure movement going on all the
You can
time.
kind of hear it just clanking around, and it works every day. I understand that, but no thanks.
Yeah, right.
But
And
that's
they're
the
missing that weird animatronic clunk and movement.
It's
Yeah.
in the it's in the
I liked it,
uncanny
man.
valley where it like almost works, but it doesn't. So that makes it even more creepy.
Yeah.
Like those
It's
weird
like
robots.
it's like it could be this toy or some sort of a stuffed animal or something in a room that has come to life and it would move all weird and clunky.
Yeah.
That's how it would move. Is
just
that
too
jittery?
weird.
Yeah.
You finger gun that one. Good job.
Finger gun it. Yeah. Also, several people were really creeped out by Ernest Scared Stupid.
See, that didn't creep me out
Right?
at
I
all.
thought so too.
Not at
I
all.
did think it was creepy.
No.
Charlie, one of my sister's friends, Kristen, my wife, super creeped out. And there was like two other people that chimed in. Were like, yes, specifically a troll that's in the movie.
Oh, see,
Okay.
that's probably why. See, I don't remember the troll at all.
I
so
don't
I'd
remember
have to
that
look
either.
up.
I watched.
And
For
now-
me, it was Ernest Goes to Jail was the one I watched more than anything. So I didn't even watch the Scared Stupid
miss
with
Vern.
with Electro Man.
What's his name? Vern. What's his name? Vern. The lead.
Yeah, you know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah, but that's
Was he-
what's his name? Vern. Come on, intern boy. Anyways, we'll come back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even know what this. I'm looking up this movie. It looks
Ernest.
pretty
Yeah, you
weird.
probably don't know Ernest.
Ernest
huh?
had a
You
whole
missed out on
series
that.
of films.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it?
He
is
died
it like
before
Pee
he
Wee
died.
Herman?
Did he have a TV show?
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a
Yeah,
TV
he did.
show. Yeah, with his friend. Who was his friend that you like never saw him?
Well,
See, this is
it's
why I
Vern.
need the computer. in
Yeah,
front of me.
yeah, right,
I'd be
yeah.
looking up all this
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
right away.
Vern was the friend, and the person you
Vern
was
was
always
his
talking
friend.
to. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
Jim something. Jim.
Yeah.
That's his name. Jim something. Jim.
I can't remember.
It's right there. You guys,
Um,
I'll talk.
we have also Pet Cemetery. People were into
Yes.
And I don't know why that one didn't creep me out either. I saw it like twice, and it just
that. Yeah, you're not into the animal creepy like Cujo. That wasn't creepy for you.
no.
Nah. That to me almost is like more of a creepy movie again because
Well, the
that
animals
could
turning
happen.
on you. The animals turning on you thing. Yeah, it's scary because it's like, oh my god, an animal's turning on you, but that's not like scary with the creeping out. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're
How
just like this hard-edged kid.
I don't know. No, I'm serious. It's like, but
Just
the weird.
didn't get to you.
No.
Then we have Child's Play. Did that creep you out?
I hated that one. Yes, that was one of
Because
my
of
ones I
that
wanted
weird
coming here.
animatronic, your stuffed animal could slaughter you
That
in the
could
middle
be
of the night.
any of
I've
the
never-
dolls in your sister's rooms or in your room. I
I've
mean,
never seen Child's Play.
ever.
No.
It's pretty good.
It's-
It's terrible, but it's great.
Yeah, and then Bride of Chucky and all that stuff too. But in particular, that could be any doll just staring at you in the toy aisle, just
Yeah.
demented, staring at you, and all of a sudden it comes to life.
Yeah.
Can take your life out.
Well,
I
it's
get
kind of
the
a good
story,
one.
but I just never seen it.
Well, and it's like a
Classic.
good one because it's definitely gone that like Fast and Furious route, where the first one is
Oh,
like this
yeah.
true like horror, like you get into it, whatever, right? The first Fast and Furious all about the cars.
Oh, yeah.
Later on, it just gets cheesy and cheesy and cheesy, which is what happens with Chucky as it goes. But if you've seen it from the beginning, it's like you grew with that, and they're all great. They're so bad and awful, but they're so amazing.
Reminds me of Hellraiser. That's
say-
another horror movie that just got
Yeah.
weird.
The first
The
Halloween.
pinhead.
Okay, I take it back. The first
Yeah.
Halloween, that animatronic or pumpkin that was like killing everybody, that did kind of creep me out a bunch.
And the animatronic again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creepy, weird, jittery movement.
Yeah.
Also, we had several people mention Tremors, and people are all over Tremors 1 and 2.
The
And
only,
I'm
the only
just
scary
the
thing
first
about
one for
that
me,
is Kevin
too.
Bacon.
yeah, you know why the first one's good? Because everything's better with bacon.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Everything is better than bacon. I didn't even waiting to say that. And
I had that waiting.
It could really happen. Stuff could come out of the ground and bite you and take you down.
Yeah.
I see it.
Well, and all the people in it are such awesome
I had a
hillbillies,
crush
right?
on that, the lead the co-star, the lady.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
Bacon gets to
hook up with.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
hooks up
I'm
with her
jealous.
at the end.
Hello.
With his sweet tight jeans and his
Super
awesome
sweet.
hair. Yeah.
There was
Oh
a
my
newer
God.
scene when she was running down the plank in front of the general store. Remember they were getting away from the tremors, the little critter.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? She was in underwear.
Awesome. Nice. It's still
Still there.
it's in the bank.
It's in there.
Needed those
Still there.
movies.
It's in the bank, right?
Yeah, we know what bank. Yeah.
Just deposited daily.
Yep.
So more.
And then that's pretty much it. And then we had Emily, who's been on the show, who likes weird, scary movies. I'd never even heard of them. They were Spooky, Little Red Riding Hood, and The Pharaohs. And she
haven't
followed
seen
it up
those.
with, that tells you the type of person I am.
I haven't
So,
seen those. So
I don't know those either. I've seen a Little Red Riding Hood, but it was a newer one. And I think I saw it with Kristen because it had some actress she wanted, and it was terrible. It wasn't good.
nice.
Yeah.
So
Not nice. It was bad.
So the ones that I had on there, back to Stephen King, The It,
And now
movies.
that's been recharged this year.
and I haven't seen that one yet.
Neither have I.
But the original one, and I didn't realize it was. I'd only seen it on TV. I didn't realize it was a 2-part miniseries.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So,
I didn't know that.
but that for some reason really creeped me out. And I don't know why. I can't put my finger on what it was, but it creeped me.
Could have been just a little bit of everything. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and again, it's in that range of, because it's a TV show, it also adds in that weird, like, extra low budget feel to it that I don't know
Yeah.
why, but for some reason that kind of thing seems more real. It
Well,
creeps me out more.
because they have to work with what's available. And
Well,
that's
look
what.
at
Yeah.
Blair
around.
Witch. I mean, that was
Yeah.
That was
super
so
low
huge.
budget.
That got me real good. I don't
I
get
think
scared
it
by
fooled
much.
a lot of people socially. Like, it's really real. It's like, well, I worked at Blockbuster Video for 6 years, so I kind of knew already. But the thing is, like, everyone were coming in like, it happened. It's so. I'm like, sure, it did.
Because that was
It's a movie.
before, like, the
Yeah,
People
internet.
still couldn't get that part. It's a
right?
movie, but it
And
was
it-
the start of like social reality.
Yeah.
Well,
and
and
it pioneered
from
the found
the-
footage.
Yeah, from the
It did a
from the
lot.
camera. Yeah, it was the first one I remember watching where it was from the camera.
It was well done.
Yeah.
I really,
Yeah.
and for what it like basically grossed was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone wanted to see that.
for sure. It hyped itself more than anything. Yeah,
Kind of like Napoleon.
and that's
Dynamite.
totally like your generation.
Like Napoleon Dynamite.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yes,
Say,
Credit
very
given,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take credit for my
Also an
generation's
amazing movie.
successes.
Yeah, we can get that.
say
another day.
probably one of the movies that creeped me out the most was The Dark Crystal.
And again,
I
weird
don't know-
puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird puppets and
That's one I haven't seen.
the scene where
I
they're
know. I knew you were
That's-
gonna look
you
at me.
should.
I know. I
Yeah.
need to.
This-
And it
this-
was on the list.
the
Right.
scene where they're
I haven't.
where they're sucking the life force for some reason still totally creeps me out. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Who
Did
was
you
the
worry?
lead in that though?
So that's 82. So that is pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who the
And
lead
I was very young when I saw it.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Look it up, Jack. Who's the lead? Dark Crystal.
Am I gonna have to do this too?
Oh my God! Get right faster with your. It's your generation. You should be faster with those thumbs, dude.
No kidding.
Right?
By the way, Jim Varney was Vern.
Jim Varney.
Jim Varney,
Yeah,
yes.
I already said that
was
like
hilarious.
a while ago, but
Jim Varney.
what's the main character's name? Fizzgig, Agra, Urskex, High
Yes.
Priest number 2.
No.
That's Jim Henson. Well,
Jim Henson wrote.
He's
wrote
clear. If he's number 2,
See, it's a Jim
he's
Henson
clearly.
film,
Dark
right?
Crystal,
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
IMDb.
yeah,
It's got all the
Let's go.
puppets.
I never watched it just because it looked kind of gross. And I think I watched it before, but it just like, by the time I was a kid, the animatronics, I feel like they didn't hold up as much.
That
At
was
least
all-
from what I remember.
It was all Jim Henson puppets.
Well, I think all of that, like technology, like animatronics, special effects, even it hits this phase where it's riding the
Catherine
line of
Mullen?
trying to be too real, and it doesn't come across quite as well,
Yeah.
because you
think-
can tell it's not real now,
Yeah.
right? Special
Catherine
effects kinda do that
Mullen.
too.
It's is she Kira? Is that the name?
I don't know.
Sounds good.
They all have
Yeah.
weird names,
I like that.
but
Just go with it. Just give us
the
a name,
girl.
Jack.
Yeah, Catherine Mullen. If I'm wrong, blame IMDb
Okay.
for making it really confusing.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame IMDb for this one. You're wrong.
You can send your hate emails to Jack at. Is there personal movies that we want to throw in there?
That's what we've been doing.
Should we go? Well,
Yeah,
I went through the fan list
Yeah.
of what we had people respond. I have my own list of some of
Okay.
those were on there.
Yeah, I should
Yeah.
Totally, the Birds was on there. Creep me out. Another one my dad showed me that he should not have showed me, and I was afraid to sleep for a week, was The Exorcist.
Okay, that one did totally creep me out.
That movie is weird.
Yeah.
That movie is just wrong and weird. It makes you feel weird when you're watching. Some scenes in that movie will almost make you feel like you are this weird creepo for just even watching it or being entertained by it. Like it's wrong. Yeah. The crucifix scene is terrible.
Oh my god, yeah.
Ugh, it just drove me nuts. The barfing scene was less. It was more humorous.
Yeah.
I always found that humorous as a kid. But one that I was always a huge fan of, and maybe it rides the line of a scary horror movie, but for me it was Alien, the first one.
Oh, I agree. And I have a crush on Sigourney Weaver too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Same
god!
here.
Especially
Same
because
here.
of that
I know
movie.
what it is. Older women do it for me.
Yeah. One of,
Totally.
one of-
She still got it.
Yeah, and
she
she's
does.
tall.
In
not like a
what
6'1".
was Defenders? She
Yeah.
didn't look bad.
No, not at all.
No, she still
So,
got it together.
shout out
the
to
other, the
Sigourney
other one I
Weaver.
give a shout out for that is Susan Sarandon.
And Gina Davis.
Uh-huh.
Isn't she up
Yeah,
there?
Yeah,
they're
she was-
both still
Amazon.
hotties.
She was-
Yeah.
she was-
Amazon.
Yeah, we did a top female heroine episode,
Oh yeah.
and she was mine.
Oh, yeah.
As of course.
Yeah, she was both on our list. Yeah.
Aliens is a good one, or Alien, or Aliens, or all
Yeah,
the
the
series.
first one. I think
They
the
kinda
first
lost
one
track
is
after a
the
while, though, too.
Yeah, they did
Resurrection,
sort of the
whatever.
opposite of Fast and
Right.
Furious and all that. They kind of lost their way without regrouping.
Mm-hmm.
But that first one it's such a creepy horror, and as it ends up being just her in the end with the alien, right? Because it
Right.
doesn't start out that way.
No,
and
no,
the
no.
weird like
It was
the
suspenseful
face
and stuff, but
things
it
that
still
like
didn't
shove
creep me
stuff
out.
down their throat. Yeah, I liked how it like
Face
trickled
suckers,
down
no.
to just her.
Yeah.
That was all pretty good.
Well, you were also
It reminds me
dealing-
of The Thing. Oh, but you go.
Go ahead, intern boy.
Oh,
He
no,
gave me
I-
the finger
I
gun
don't
there.
I
know.
know,
Did you
right?
see that?
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of The Thing about how it slowly trickles down and it's like invading your body.
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah.
gross.
Well, and we'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
And the combination of space and stuff so futuristic ahead of our time that we're used to on the ground reality like Earth, which then that was involved with because you have these creatures invading that. So that's what I
Yeah.
found kind of really cool, but also
Yeah.
scary at the same time because it could happen here.
Well, it was just well, in the alien, it's just creepy to think to be out in space all by yourself anyway, right? Even if there wasn't an
and
alien
how
there,
could it
it's
get
just
there?
you. It's like, yeah,
That left the mind to wonder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it got there because they were like scavenger ship.
Don't give it away.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I've seen it too many times. The other one that I should not have seen as a little kid was The Howling. I watched the
Never
crap
seen
out of
The
The Howling. Nice. It has the best animatronic like transition into the werewolf. It was the first time I'd ever seen the snout come out of the human mouth and like rip the head apart as the dog
really?
mouth came out. Yeah, blood and guts and stuff. It
Never
was
seen
awesome.
The Howling, so
It's worth watching. It's terrible.
That's another good one.
Came out in 81.
You're gonna have a busy weekend.
Yeah.
some weekend. You're just gonna have to power through all these.
How about
I only
the
said
Leprechaun?
two that I haven't.
Did you watch the Leprechaun?
Oh yeah, I watched Leprechaun.
With
That was
Hey,
so
Courtney
stupid.
Courtney Cox.
But we all
right?
did that too. That's right. She was in
She's
that.
in
I
it,
forgot
and the
about that.
Leprechaun is
right, I forgot
what's
about
his
that.
face from Willow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
you know.
Uh,
Apparently, there's a limited number of little people in Hollywood, but they're always
Yeah.
in the same movies. Job security, I guess.
yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis. That's who Willow was. I mean,
Yes,
yeah, for a
thank
while
you.
he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like the main.
Nice. He's on. We didn't even have
You
to.
brought
know
yourself
that.
back
that
up
was
one
that was
point.
an
Yeah,
awesome
yeah,
movie
yeah.
though.
Good for
Oh,
Love
I
Willow.
think he's is he R2D2? No, he was the Ewok. He was casted for Willow because
Right.
he was like one of the main Ewoks.
He was
And
the
I guess
Ewok.
He was Wicket, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Might
what?
have been.
he? Wicket was a character.
Yes.
In...
Remember, he's the main.
Return of
You
the
watch
Jedi.
Star Wars now?
He's one of the Ewok. Wait, what are we talking about?
Wicket, the main.
We're all-
Oh my god. So,
Right, everybody.
I'm
We'll
talking
come back
about-
to it.
we're gonna make you watch the
He's
Star
got so
Wars
much going
Christmas
on.
special.
yeah.
No, do not make me do that.
Yes,
Nah,
we're,
we love
we're
you,
gonna
Jack.
make you watch.
I
the
will quit.
Christmas
I
special.
tried. It's too bad.
You'll be back.
Speaking of amazing animatronics, did we all watch Arachnophobia?
Yes.
That was like, I had that listed as my number one. I hate spider. I'm terrified of spiders. I'd rather have me see them than they see me. Yeah. Explain, like, if I walk into this room, obviously, amazing room, by the way. Good job on the setup. If I see a spider on the wall, I've prepared myself to see something I hate.
Okay.
Whereas if I'm standing there and it comes down and I don't know it's there, I'm going to freak the F out. Like, I'm not a fan at all. Like, crawling into, like, crawl spaces and all that. As much light, I'm going to vacuum cleaner with me, everything. I'm just going to... I hate them. So when that came out, my parents wanted me to go see it with them. I'm like, no. Like my sisters, oh yeah, it's easy. They're little baby spiders. I'm like, have you seen the behind the scenes on what they do with it? Like they have to like work them in certain areas, like through the sink and all that. They had like so they use like hair dryers and all these other things to get them to move in certain ways. Because I mean they're insects, they're spiders, right? So, but no thanks.
I thought it was great.
Nope,
it's so cheesy and terrible.
It is.
And the nail gun. Isn't that what it is?
Oh, yeah,
in the
John
end? He's got
Goodman,
like
yeah.
the nail gun. With
Yeah.
it?
I think that was
good.
cool, but no thanks.
My wife is also super afraid of
Nope.
spiders. Like she can't handle them at all.
Yeah.
You want a real quick terrible
gonna
spider
hear you right now.
story?
I'm not gonna-
Sure.
About my wife.
Nope.
I'm hanging out. This is like when me and my wife first met each other. And we're first hanging out, and a buddy of mine. We're all sitting on the couch watching a movie, probably Fast and Furious, and she gets up and just races off down the hallway for no reason, and we're both like, "What? Why'd you do that?" And I get up and was like, "Hey, babe, what's going on?" And she goes, "Louis has the biggest spider in the middle of his back," and Louis just like instantly stood up. He's like, "Well, get it off!" It was awesome.
just
Everybody's running around the house with spiders.
I think it kind of goes with the whole mechanical, kind of creepy walk that they have. That like,
Oh, they're creepy,
I
for sure.
don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks. I don't know.
Well, and
why.
they all have those like fangs in the front, and, like
Stop.
20 million eyes.
And the hairs.
I don't wanna hear
Oh,
it.
the
Yeah.
gross hairs, and especially when they're like wet on the end.
Ah.
Like you can just imagine touching it and what
I
it would
hate you
feel
guys
like.
right now. I hate you guys right now.
Well, another funny story about her and spiders
Yes.
is her Thunderbird.
Yeah.
First week she had it, we were driving to Mount Vernon. We get on the freeway, and this little itty bitty spider comes down from the visor,
Yeah.
and she screams.
She's driving.
She's driving. And she
Yeah.
screams and squirts, literally just squirts right out of the freaking driver's side seat and lands in my lap in the passenger seat. And the car is still going 70 miles an hour down the freeway.
Yeah.
Didn't shift, move, nothing. She had the seatbelt on and still was able to like squirt out of it. Just like, yeah! One swift movement, ear-piercing scream.
Could care less to anything else going on around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, driving a motor vehicle at this
Yes,
time. And yet
exactly.
still able to leave the seat.
Yeah, no, she did. She's just
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty
just
good.
Ejected herself from the
See,
driver's
that's
seat.
the thing. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just, as a child, tormented or something by it. I don't know. It'd be cool to go back and find out where I lost it.
where you
where I really
you-
lost it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan.
That's pretty funny. We used to always play with spiders as a kid. Like we'd take different things and throw them in their webs, and like we always thought they were
Oh
the
yeah,
coolest thing.
at
right?
school we there are all these ants, and if you put them in the right things, the
Those
like
are
they
ants.
fight
I'm not-
the spiders.
But
then
you watch
I
the
got
spider
sad
fight them,
because
right?
then
You
I-
flick them in the
true.
web and watch
This
them
is
go
true.
down and twist them up,
Yeah,
and you're like,
but
oh,
then I got
that's so
sad,
awesome.
and I felt bad for the
I think
ants.
I'm
and
okay with
stopped.
you on that just because it's not her against me.
Yeah,
It's
no,
on its
no,
own
no,
dinner.
put
It's
it
its
down
own
and you
dinner.
just like
Yeah.
You know?
take your hand up because the spiders take a little bit of time because they're like checking like is that ant? And then they
here?
Is that ants?
what an
How
idiot.
spiders talk.
Yeah,
Hey,
they don't
Well,
got,
you know, they got
don't
the
got
fangs in the
check
way.
it
Oh, yeah. Right.
Check it out.
Love it.
Also, one that this is one I didn't actually watch. I kind of watched it like through the crack of a door as I was supposed to be sleeping.
Oh,
And
busted.
it was
Sorry, Mom.
It was The Fly.
okay.
Yeah, and that creeped me out as a kid.
I remember parts of it.
It
not
bit me in
often.
the ass.
Yeah. That was a good one, though.
I
Of
remember
course, the first time.
liking the movie. No, I don't remember it creeping me out.
And I don't even think I don't think if I would have actually watched the whole. So the way it worked was at the time me and my sister shared a bedroom, and she would go out and like creep down the hall and peek through the door and watch, and then she'd report to me, and then I'd go down and watch some more of it and report back to her. So I think that all added to it for sure, right?
That's a good move right there.
Yeah, right.
I
Well,
like
because
that.
we were
Here,
supposed to be
you
in
go.
bed. It was like, okay, you report, and then I'll go back.
Yeah,
and-
but like if either one of you got in trouble, the other one didn't,
yeah,
unless you ratted each other out. But you're not gonna. So you just kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was Aubrey's idea. She
Yeah,
told
right.
me to do it.
Tell me to know what's it called.
I just being a good brother, right?
That's good.
The other one I watched a bunch, or I didn't watch it a bunch, but I remember everybody from high school going to go see it, and we all liked it. Kind of that Fast and Furious sort of thing happened with it. Was the Final Destinations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you care for those? Jack hates them. The wrong generation.
I mean,
knew
it's
it.
just kind of dumb.
It's so cheesy
It's like,
and
how
terrible.
do you up the ante every time? I don't know.
You need to watch more Fast and Furious.
Well, I mean, okay, but like I saw one of them, and one of the deaths were so dumb. It was like something had like one like bolt from a race car's tire fell off, and then all the race car drivers dead. Like half the stadium was destroyed. And I'm like, okay, that wouldn't happen though. Like that's not how. Everything is so fragile,
Ew.
and it's like
Sorry.
the worst
not.
Rube Goldberg machine because it's like it's not like a million little things happening. It's like always like one screw falls out, and then that's like
But that's what builds. That's
all
the-
this.
Yeah.
But it's like not a screw and all this other stuff, and then it does all this fake out where it's like, oh, they're gonna step in the electrified water, and they don't. It's like, just kill them
That's a
already.
suspense, right?
Yeah.
The one that creeped me out the most from those movies was the water bottle in like the mom's car that rolled under the seat, so she couldn't push the brake pedal down.
right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that could totally happen.
See,
That
this is what we're
could
explaining.
completely,
The
really
right.
happen.
Pool sucking the guy's intestines out. I'm scared of pools. So, okay, fine. Good job,
Oh,
Final Destination.
Give it to me. Give me,
I think
give
you're
me a
starting to
finger gun.
realize what you.
I don't want my butthole to get sucked out by a pool.
By anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Nothing. We already talked about Tremors. Another one that totally creeped me out was Fire in the Sky. Remember the big alien craze going on? Did you ever
Yeah.
see Fire in the Sky?
No.
That movie was creepy, man. Where the guy got abducted in the woods. They were like logging trees and
yeah,
camping.
that one was weird.
And all of a sudden they see this light and they can't find their buddy. And then they shows up again one day and he starts having these weird PTSD
Yeah.
alien
Sounds really
abduction
familiar.
stuff.
Does
That
it
is a
have Kevin
trippy,
Bacon
weird
in it?
movie. I can't remember.
I may have seen.
Google
this.
it,
I don't know.
intern.
Anyway,
It's
next.
really good,
You
though.
should
You
be
should check
asking
it
these
out.
questions while you're looking at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time. I think that was called Powder, by the way.
Powder?
The light in the sky coming down. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, that's
I like
Fire
that.
in the Sky. You guys should
I'm
watch
just
it. It's a really creepy, weird abduction movie that's like actually a good movie though.
Okay.
Also, not maybe
no
necessarily
Kevin
horror,
Bacon. I repeat,
Ah.
no Kevin Bacon.
Boo.
Another one was it's only the one scene from it was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Large
I know.
Marge.
Yes, I had that down too.
That creeped me out, dude. As a kid, I
what
hated
one?
that scene.
Large Marge and the
Marge.
trucker. She was the
Oh,
trucker.
Remember? A horrible burning wreck, and her face looked just like
Yeah.
that. Creeped me out.
I think someone paused it on that scene, and so you see her eyes all like busting out of her
Yeah.
face and all that, and I'm like, that's a creep, especially when you
creeped
see
me
it
out.
real time.
Yeah.
In the theater with everybody else doing the same thing.
That creeped me out.
I did
and
see
it's
that in the
such
theater, by the way.
because none of the rest of the movie is like that at all. And then all of a sudden, for half a second,
no
it's
one
this creepy,
saw
creepy
it coming.
movie. Yeah.
Right? No one saw that coming.
That
What
was pretty
freaked
good.
me out exactly like that was the Twilight Zone movie. I think it was the first and probably like I think one of the only times the Twilight Zone was ever in color because I don't think they did a sequel, but it was this guy driving and like his friend turns and he's like, and then his face is all, well, I guess the camera can't see it. Marcus, you do it. Do a
What do you want me to do?
demonstration.
Of what?
Oh,
Yeah, he like turns his head and then his face is all blue
Finger
and
gas.
weird.
yeah, right.
But yeah, no, that was actually one of the first kind of really scary movies I watched. Also, quick shout out to Creature. I was never scared by movies as a kid except for Twilight Zone and Creature because in the beginning he like touches some space pod or like they're astronauts. One of them touches a space pod and I think like an infection gets through and his head explodes. That one scene terrified me. I remember like there was a doorway to the living room and I'd be cowering doing like that FPS creep over the side, right? And I'd be like, oh god, that scene's gonna happen, and I'd wait for it to happen and then I'd watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
I think still ultimately what we're chatting about in the last 30 minutes or so, it's like the movies that we're used to, it was that suspenseful time and the era of when they designed those movies, it built over through the movie. Whereas again now it's so fast and like you don't have time to really kind of let it build up in your head.
Yeah.
Which I think is worse because then it doesn't stick in your head and you won't remember it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how old are you?
18.
Okay, so I'm 40, very proud of it. They're in the same demo. So
Well, not quite.
No.
I'm being nice. But what I still think is what's being brought to public in the Motion Picture Association, all that. It's more just like how much they can get in your head as quickly as they can, and then money out the door, right?
Yep.
Whereas for us, when we grew up, it's like okay, it was $5 probably at that time, or even less than that, just to go to a movie. But the whole movie was worth it because it from start to finish was setting this little seed in your head the entire movie. When you left, you're like not talking to anybody, your parents. Whereas now it's like, oh yeah, that was a funny scene.
You're like pulling the
Dude,
sheets up at
scared
night
me
and
10
freaked
minutes,
out.
blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly. When you get home, you're like, not wanting to go in your room.
Leave the whole light on.
Yeah, every light was in the house
Yeah.
on. I was checking for spiders.
Yeah, right. Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what was amazing for the suspenseful films. What we grew up with, as far as that's what I liked, and that's what scared me the most. Is because to this day, like I have twin boys, and so like I'm talking to them about stuff, and they're like, "We're not scared of anything." I'm like, "Well, that may be true, but I can tell you what could scare you."
Yeah.
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 Well, I wonder how much of all that, like we could run off on this crazy tangent, but I wonder how much of that also has to do with just like the lack of attention span as the generations have progressed, right? Like if you don't keep engaging them every 10 minutes with something, they're going to get
You're
bored
absolutely
and
right.
it's not a good movie.
Absolutely
Right?
Well, I've noticed myself even getting that way
Yeah.
with things. Just,
Well, you're talking about the imagination thing. That's a major point with
Yeah.
imagination in children. They don't get a chance to let it build in them. Now it's just one after another and after another.
Yeah.
The imagination is
Instant gratification.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Right?
That's what
Amazon,
is
2 days guaranteed. right?
And they can unlock your
see.
door to do
That's,
it.
I heard about that.
Oh,
That's
no
insane.
thanks.
Yeah.
what's this?
What idiot gives your key to the Amazon guy? You
They're-
can give them your key to open your door.
Or
and leave
it's
the
like an
package.
automatic lock. They can unlock your
Really?
so your package doesn't get stolen. So they can unlock your house, put the package in,
But
lock it
your
back,
everything
and then-
else in your house gets
Yeah,
stolen.
exactly. Right. No thanks. Just leave it there.
There has to be such a liability
Yeah,
clause
if it
that
gets
you
stolen,
sign
then
or
I'll get
whatever.
another one from you. Because
yeah,
you're already
exactly.
getting it dirt cheap.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
The last one, as far as movies that I know is not a scary movie at all, but I remember it being the very first movie I ever saw in the theater, and I was only like 3 or 4 years old, was Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually saw that in the theater with my dad because my sister was just born, and so my mom was stuck at home with a kid, and I think my dad just wanted the hell out of the house. So he drugged me to Star Wars. I remember we walked in like 5 minutes late, and it was with the like tentacle lady opening
Oh.
the big door with Leia there in her costume, and I remember seeing all that and just going and like ran back down out the theater.
Really?
And my dad, because it was so loud, and I was 3, right? It was like
yeah,
I'd
you
never.
kinda panicked,
It was just crazy, and I didn't know what to expect. I remember my dad chasing me and grabbing me and dragging me back down to sit through the Jedi, and I loved it by the end.
Now
That
people will
creeped
throw it
me
up on
out.
Facebook and all that and be
Yeah.
like, look what this parent's doing to this
Right?
child.
Yeah,
forcing
right?
him to do-"
Totally.
Yeah, right?
But I
Oh,
mean,
don't even get me started on that one.
yeah.
Public shaming.
So I know it's not scary, but that was my first
I could see that.
movie that scared the crap out of me because I just didn't know what to expect.
Nice.
I had a couple honorable mentions from Dusk Till Dawn.
Eh.
I think that's a great movie. It's cheesy and terrible.
Can't stand that movie.
And I wondered, is Predator and Total Recall kind of creep me out as a kid, but they're like more action movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They're not really falling to
It's
that
close.
scary kind of horror.
It's close.
There's like a fine line there. It's because of all the guns and the great one-liners.
And 3 titty women.
Right? Yeah, for sure, right? For sure.
Somehow that just stays
Well,
right
and
there.
the
I
Older
love that-
women,
I
again,
love that
older
they-
women.
yeah,
That's
I
a
love that they
bonus.
had
It's
to
got
put that in the new one too. Like,
Right.
of course, that had to be in there because it's not Total Recall without 3
Right.
boobs. Right.
Exactly.
At the same time.
exactly.
I had a couple real fast. Just so
Yeah, no,
my
lay
list.
'em out.
I had Candyman.
I've never seen Candyman.
So
Right.
that was, I thought it was pretty scary because did you ever play the game when you go in the bathroom?
yeah.
So that was it. You used to either say, or it was
Bloody Mary.
that
Bloody Mary,
that was
yeah.
the
I
other one. There
played
was
that.
2.
That
So we did
creeped me out.
Candyman. You'd have to say it 3 times in the mirror and see what happens, or the Bloody Mary. That was it. That was kind of like the same.
Bloody
Yeah.
Mary's with the forks. Is that right?
No,
Is that
no,
what you did?
you're going to like a bathroom and you turn
I mean,
off the
everyone
lights. all your
everyone
friends.
does it different, but it's terrifying either way.
Well, it's like the same Mary. I thought that's why she was like Bloody Mary because she like gouged her eyes out with forks or something.
That could have been it too.
I had a different one as a kid.
It was probably like an iPad or something.
No,
Is that what
it's
she
just,
used?
you just say it.
So weird.
You don't need to like bring forks or one was like ketchup.
It was an iPad shuffle because that's the only.
Hey, I have a shuffle still.
Oh
Don't
my
dog it. I have a
God.
shuffle. I like my shuffle.
Yeah. No,
So
lay
the
it- lay
Candyman
them on
one
us,
was
lay them on us.
all the Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween films.
Yeah.
Those,
Oh, yeah.
I think those are all still
Elm Street
great.
is just
They
classic.
they got a little cheesy just over time. I mean, they had so many too. The whole Fast and Furious theory, as far as making multiples. But Jason and Freddy, those are. I mean, you got some dude coming in your dreams.
Yeah.
That kind of freaked me out a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, I'll be honest, like it did me. And yeah, I had the arachnophobia one. That too. That was
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
on there too. So.
My memory of the Freddy ones were didn't scare me so much, but I remember my cousins being so scared,
Okay.
and I derived more pleasure from seeing them freaked out
Oh,
and
right.
freaking them out
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's like I totally embrace that movie for not opposite side just because the enjoyment I got out of it.
Yeah, just
Outside.
watching other people squirm.
Yeah, exactly. So
This tells us so much about Jay.
There's a bonus in all of that.
Yeah. I really struggled to come up with a TV show that really kind of creeped me out.
I did. It was it.
Yeah, that qualifies totally, right? Does anybody have a TV show?
I couldn't think of
The
one.
closest thing I can think of now is Black Mirror,
Boom, that's the one I had.
because it's
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty.
like Twilight Zone, but I prefer Black Mirror more, and
Well, it kind of brings everything.
it's a slow burn, but that's what I love about it is that you really have to think about what's going on, and then it makes you think afterwards. Okay, what if that really happened?
Well,
Right?
Yeah.
and like how we're talking about like how the old movies would scare us because like our stuffed animal is going to kill us or whatever. What Black Mirror does, I don't know if you've seen that. It's totally
Pretty good.
like a British Twilight Zone is what
okay.
it makes me think of.
Yeah.
But it's all based on kind of like modern day sort of technology and how it's ruining us and
Yep.
how it could creep you out.
Which
So
it's
it-
doing right now.
But it does a
Really
really
good.
good job of translating that old school movie feel where like your stuffed animal is going to kill you or whatever to now your cell phone's going to kill you or your social
Right.
media status is going to kill
Yep.
you, and it makes you feel like a weird creeper for being involved in that circle.
Right.
But it does it really, really well. It's just a weird
And if
creepy
it
show.
doesn't kill you, it's gonna ruin your life.
Oh,
Like
it's
White
just
Christmas,
miserable. Yeah.
where the AI has to be in there for like millions of years, just alone in the house, and he's
Yeah.
screaming, and that's how that ends.
It's
like, that
it's
sucks.
totally worth checking out. It's just a weird creep. It's one of those. Some of the episodes are those ones where it's like, should this be entertaining? I feel like a creepo almost watching this. Like it's
Yeah.
just weird.
Some of them are bad. I mean, I
It's
think
like
you
a
have to
Twilight
find
Zone. They're
which
not
one
all
speaks
awesome,
to
right?
you, but that's what I like about it is that certain episodes you'll be like, I feel this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it totally relates to playing on your phone or
Yeah.
what, all that type of stuff. So that was the only one I came up with.
the
Awesome. I
bicycle-
thought you'd appreciate
Finger,
that.
finger,
Finger gun.
Finger
finger
gun.
gun. I was gonna say
Bang
finger.
bang.
Not the other finger.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you have it.
Next,
Free
next
reign creativity
movie.
on that
Oh,
one.
I noticed that Labyrinth was on here, and the
yeah.
only thing that scared me was David Bowie's package just
That was
always being in frame.
I
matter
thought
with David
why
Bowie's
is it-
package?
Labyrinth was
did you-
pretty.
Did you read
was
the note I
pretty
put in
creepy.
there?
Yep. David Bowie in his tights. Need I say more?
That when I think of Labyrinth, so that's about right, like 86. I remember that was the movie that got me in the house of the cute girl down the street because she wanted to watch Labyrinth
see?
with me.
Nice
So, right?
for you.
Yeah,
All
I was all
right.
over it. I like Labyrinth. Yeah. So shout out to you, Chris Woods. So the other thing, because we're nerds and we talk about them all the time, does anybody have a video game?
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. That's
Yeah,
money
those
one.
Silent Hill 1 and 2. Those creep the heck out
And
of me.
again, it's from. I think that
The
also
thing about it is
transitions.
we were 19 and 20 years old when those were out.
Well, and I think it transitions again to your stuffed animal killing you. It's like we're and animatronics, and like
Yeah.
we're talking about that older generation of systems and like utilizing the tools they had, and they did it so well.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the thing about it is like it's something that legitimately creeped me out, and I was his age.
Yeah,
So it's like, that's saying something.
yeah, no, totally, it is. Yeah. What do you got over there, intern? He's
All right.
chomping at the bit.
So
I can
my
tell.
first scary game was Dead Space. I thought that was a really good introduction.
It's on my list.
to
That's
horror
spot
games
on.
in general. The first one, obviously, because they got worse. And the scariest game I've ever played has to be PT. It's a short little experience, but like there's not everything in that game will scare you, right? But there's just those little things that I think speak to everyone's specific, I guess, phobia, right? Like there might not be spiders, but like I think the scariest part is there's this fridge
Spoiler
hanging
alert.
from the ceiling, and it's like banging, and you can hear like a little baby screaming inside, and there's blood dripping, and I'm like, nope, I don't like that. Anything with kids, nope,
Yeah.
that's just a no go. Or there's like a fetus in the sink that's like talking to you, and like this weird man's voice.
You're gonna
I'm
be a
like,
wonderful parent.
Yeah, anytime.
By the way.
anytime
Yeah,
you
thank
add a
you.
baby or pregnant women to a scenario like that, it
Well,
just like takes it to the next level.
Yep.
It just
and
does,
then
right?
the radio's talking to you. He's like, "Don't turn around," and you like, well, you don't have to turn around. That's the worst part. Is that it's like it's telling you to do things by saying like, "Don't turn on the radio" or "Don't do this," but then it like makes you think that you have to, and you don't even have to do any of
Yeah.
it. But even then, like, no matter what you do, it's still a terrifying game, and it's
It's a demo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a demo. Oh, and also,
Is it that like a first
The
person thing
cool-
where you're looking while you're walking around?
yeah.
First person scenario.
You're
like,
going
Well,
down
the
a
coolest
hallway,
thing-
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
on the same
Yeah.
hallway over and over and over, but just little things changes,
Yeah.
and it messes with your mind.
Well, and the coolest thing for like a little backstory on what PT was, I think is it PlayStation 4 exclusive?
yeah, and you
I think
can't get
is.
it anymore.
Yeah,
I still have
it
it.
was this demo that got released for a game that was supposed to come out.
Okay.
And then the game got shut down, right? And so the demo was the only thing you could get. But then they ripped the demo from the stores. So unless you downloaded it to your system and it's on your system,
Then
you
they
could
can't
never
take it back.
nobody can ever get it now. So if you have a system with it on it, like Jack does, I've seen them on like, eBay or Amazon for like $1,000 to buy
Wow.
because you can't get
Yeah,
it.
well, no, I
it's
get
the
that.
only way to get it. So you're buying PT. You're also getting a PlayStation 4, but you're buying it because it has that demo
on there.
and it's
yeah, like, that's how-
totally-
crazy
and
in
you
demand it
have
is.
to keep. So you'd have to give up your
Your machine.
your ID, your
Yeah.
PlayStation
Or
ID,
that
and
too,
everything.
yeah.
Oh yeah, just to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking over somebody else's account. You'd have to be able
Yeah.
to be able to access. It. Yeah, no, it's crazy the demand that came out.
I wonder
for
what
that.
set that off. Why did they have to pull it so quick? Is there an answer or?
I
the
think it was-
company
yeah.
Konami, they're terrible. they're a terrible company. They don't treat their workers right, and the guy that made it, like the mastermind behind all their good games, Hideo Kojima, he was in all these disputes. He wasn't even supposed to release the demo, right? Like he did it behind Konami's back, and it just escalated this whole thing.
I
So
see.
he quit, and that was sort of their retaliation of saying,
got it.
"Screw you, we're pulling
Yeah.
this off." But
Have you heard of?
guys, I'm releasing my
Yeah,
game.
yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
It's super cool, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like for those that were on
Get
it,
outta
got
here,
it
guys.
because I wasn't on the store very
Stick
long.
it to the man.
Have you ever heard of like Metal Gear Solid, that game series?
So I know you guys were talking about the video games. I'm not a gamer. Like I don't play at all. So I love all this, but I have heard of the games. Yes.
That's who Kojima is.
Got
He's
it,
the
okay,
guy who
great.
made. He's known for Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Which
got
is
it.
groundbreaking. Everybody loves Metal Gear Solid. If you don't,
Yep.
you're an idiot. You're wrong. Finger guns, you're wrong.
I will agree with that.
You might as well do this.
Yeah, right.
Got to follow that with the.
Yeah, right.
I totally had Dead Space
week.
also. The other one that really was one of the first games that kind of creeped me out to play with headphones on. It was like all the lights off, just me in front of the big TV, was Fear.
Never played it.
It's a first-person shooter. It has like these
That's
weird
probably
little
why I didn't play
girls and like
Wait, the
little
first
mental
Fear
scenes. I think it
or
was the
the-
first one.
Okay.
Where she'd like just in your peripheral you'd see her like flash across a hallway and you'd want to like turn and then you'd turn back and you're being like jumped by something and like and so I got these headphones on and I can actually hear my surround sound headset so I can hear it happening behind me and I want to
nice.
like move my character in my
designed it to
head to
make you look
see
back, right?
and it's like yeah it tripped me out and I remember going okay and taking my headset off and turning the surround sound back on. I was like that's a little too intense. I'm gonna finish this
That's
level
cool.
without headphones.
That's cool.
So, and the other one that just more again made me feel weird to get a thrill out of the game than be scary was Manhunt. Like Manhunt is it's a smut film that you play through the game. It's like this weird game. It's just not okay.
Isn't the villain like some weird guy that wears a pig mask or something?
It's like you're this character who wakes up in like I don't know if it's like a big warehouse or like a city block that's been quarantined off with all these cameras, and they like give you I don't know like a weapon or something like a screwdriver, and they're like the only way you can get through the next door is if you kill so many people, and so you have to go out and like you're slaughtering people. It's like terrible. It's like this horrible game, and I remember it was the first game that made
So
me
it's
just
the
feel
Saw
like
as a game.
kind of
It's like
yeah.
the Saw series. I was just trying
Yeah.
to think of that. What's the?
It
where
made-
you have to go through all these little. Yeah.
Well, and then here you are with the controller hitting X as you're like maiming someone to get open the door, and you're just like, this is weird to feel good playing this. And that was the first game that made me feel that way. And now I play GTA every Tuesday and do terrible things to people. It desensitized me.
There's a parental advisory. On
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
there
Kids,
for sure
so,
is, yeah.
Be careful.
That kind of rounds out my list, though. Really, that's
good.
what I got.
That's yeah.
So scary. Yeah. Are you guys dressing up for Halloween? I was gonna ask you guys that.
I am totally dressing up. I'm gonna have my leg in a cast and be in a hospital gown.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
What are you
Except
gonna be,
for I'm not
Jack?
dressing up. It's gonna be.
I'm gonna be a minion.
A minion?
Yeah.
For
Like the inflatable one.
like
no,
for real
I
skis?
have like a onesie and the goggles, but I'm gonna run around my friend's house. I've
onesie.
decided I'm not gonna be in the party that much, but I'm just gonna like pop up, and I have all these blood capsules, so I'm just gonna be bleeding the whole night, and I'm just gonna try and freak him out.
So like the forgotten minion.
Yeah.
No.
A
you mean
Manion.
the...
They're not meant to live that long.
Okay. They have a short lifespan.
Yeah.
That's the part you don't see in the movie.
Yeah, when they go crazy.
Yeah.
No, but I'll probably like try and crawl around on his roof and bang stuff. Like, yeah.
Bang
fun
stuff?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, bang stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not finger gun,
Yeah.
but with your fist. Oh, well,
Oh, my God.
not either way.
You get a camera on him, though.
Right?
We keep looking over here. It's like,
Yeah, well, we had to move his little pop-up
Yeah.
to that side of the screen.
Okay.
So he pops
Oh,
up
I
when
see.
he
What was-
talks.
oh,
yeah.
okay, I gotcha.
But it was on the wrong side.
Oh.
The first episode, so we're all looking the wrong way, and he's popping up.
funny.
I'm used to
It was
it.
awesome.
Hey, you gotta get
Things
those,
you learn, right?
Gotta get those
Yeah,
things worked
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yep, it's a little thing.
We were shunning him the first episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's talking. We're not gonna.
We
look.
just don't even pay attention to that guy. We still do.
You're part of the team.
Yeah,
You can't not pay attention to me.
yeah, right.
I know you won't let us.
Clearly.
I'm gonna pull off Cousin Eddie. Well,
I
attempt
like
to.
it.
So.
I still think you need the green LEDs.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be working the night too, so if I have that around, I am bringing a fog machine though, so I've got that all set up. Too.
Sweet.
But I'm not more of a gory kind of, dresser upper. I'm more of a comedic, kind of like thematic. Like
I think it's
I was
great.
Jack from Jack in the Box, so I made like my giant head one year, and so this year I was just Cousin Eddie. I mean, how can you go wrong with Cousin Eddie, right?
Yeah,
Shit
yeah.
was full. I mean, gotta love it.
I'm going with Flight Suit Maverick again because my wife wants.
Hey.
I have a couple like
Oldie but a goodie.
I totally have like 3 or 4 Halloween costumes that are just like stashed in
You
my
should
closet.
change
That
it
I
to be Goose, but after.
be goosed and like paint myself all white like the corpse goose.
Yeah,
Do
Nice.
like a
Zombie
zombie
goose.
thing. Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
You'd
So I got about
you'd have to get
2
some
days to
kelp.
pull this thing
You
together.
got it.
I
You
got
got
this.
it.
I got
You
this.
got
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You just have to get some kelp and lay it off you. And...
Yes, totally.
All right,
Yeah,
yes.
that's all. Yeah, you need that, right? Okay.
You got it.
Next year, I'm going as Zombie Goose. I love it. That's a really good idea.
I think you should do it
All
this
right.
year.
I'm-
This year.
I don't know.
try
Sammy
that.
Star Spangler is pretty badass though.
least-
That's
try it.
that's
You
true.
should try it.
I have my rocker persona, Tommy Star Spangler, and then there's Super Marcus,
Yeah.
Supermarket.
which is a pretty awesome full-on onesie Superman suit, Super Marcus suit. Yeah. It even
No.
has the footies. Does your onesie have footies? It has to have footies. Or it's not a onesie.
No, it has open holes.
Oh, is it just a jumper?
I
then?
think
So
that's
it's
a
a jumper,
jumpsuit.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Jumper.
difference.
That makes me sound like a convict.
A onesie has
Convicts
footies
don't wear
with a big
onesies with
zipper.
footies.
Well, you jumpers, right? Don't they wear those?
Yeah, that's a jumper, right?
What if there's a prison where they're like, we ran out of the orange ones, just take all these minion ones? That's shaming for you.
And this-
That
yeah,
reforms
that guy's
people.
Yeah.
that guy is going to get all sorts of
Well, that's
gang
why
jumped.
the
Yeah,
that's why all the underwear
Oops.
in Arizona is pink.
that would be the worst sentence in the
Seriously.
courtroom, right? They're
All
like,
the
life in
convicts-
prison, and
All-
you got to
all the
wear
underwear that's
this.
provided to the convicts, pink underwear.
It's torture in itself.
Right,
That'd work
right.
pretty well for shaming people, yeah. Pink underwear.
Yeah.
Like, man, this sucks.
So
For purple.
let's bring our beer
Exactly.
full circle here. What do you
That
think?
time, huh?
Yep, it's that time.
I really like this. I like it a lot. It is very well rounded. The hops flavors just grow as it gets a little bit warmer and you keep drinking it. It's smooth, easy to drink. God, the aromatics are amazing at the end of it. I like
Yeah.
this. I like this a lot. This is like definitely a beer fridge beer for me.
Yeah, I really enjoy the aftertaste. The aftertaste in it is it's definitely hoppy and it's got that bitterness to it, but it's not lingering terrible. I mean, I
No.
got a little bit of IPA like tongue
Well,
going
it
on,
is
but
an
not
IPA.
but not terrible.
I agree with you.
Yeah, like I've had. I mean, some of them are like, like totally drinking a cup of black coffee, and it's like you're just gonna have dirt mouth the whole day. But
Right.
this is not. It's
Sludge.
really pretty smooth and pretty well done. Really balanced, which is something we really
Yes.
look for in any beer we drink. Totally.
Completely agree. Exactly what the two of you have said. We mentioned earlier about the floral essence. Excuse me. It's not there, which is great. Kept me going after it, which is also cool over time, and it warmed up, which is great. It doesn't have that bite that I'm not always a fan of, like the coffee reference, as far as like it's smooth, but it still hangs around.
Yep.
But not a lot.
Yeah.
It didn't have as much of an actual flavor though that I'm kind of looking for, and I kind of expected something like.
It's a little bit smaller in the malt body.
Yeah, so that's probably why it kind of like some like they have reference on like floral or oranges or ginger or something like that. But I don't taste any of that, which is good also, because then I'm always going to remind myself like movies and what we're talking about. It's not going to linger around.
Yeah.
But very good choice, gentlemen, and finger gun back at the folks
Yeah.
out there. And to you too.
This all Jay, man. He picked it just for you.
it's good.
I gave him your description, which is
which
is barely anything. And this is what he came up with.
I was seeing if you could pull it off.
Yeah,
that was a test. That was a test.
Nice,
That was a
nice.
good test.
You
That was a
passed
good
the test,
Right.
buddy.
See what producers
I
do.
knew you
Was-
would.
was
I
there
knew
any
you did.
doubt?
There was no doubt. There was no doubt.
No, I didn't doubt you.
So now it's our favorite part where we get to put a number on it. So there's
is
your
that
list
up here?
up there.
Okay.
You got from unicorn to super turd.
Definitely not the unicorn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Or
have
the super turd.
Yeah, well, that's we would have said that by now. I'm gonna go with great. It's
All
not
right.
amazing. I'm gonna go with great.
All right. Is he
It's
gonna
like
go with
what
an
you're
eight?
saying, a
Solid
beer
eight.
fridge beer. It's gonna be staying
Yep.
around for a little bit,
Yeah.
so it's a good beer. It's yeah.
Yeah, like
I
would
agree.
you buy this and drink it again? That's
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
one of the biggest compliments you could give to
There you
beer.
go. That's an 8.
Yep. I was gonna go 7.75.
Ooh, he's almost an 8. Not quite there with
Yeah, I
you.
know he's flirting.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Wait until he watches all the movies he's got to catch up with. Then he's
yeah,
gonna be up
yeah.
to 8.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest, which really isn't a flaw. It has loads of flavor. It's really well balanced. It doesn't have high numbers, but again, it doesn't taste like alcohol.
No.
So that's huge plus. I've been complaining that
That's
the high
the
number
scariest
beers,
part of the show right now.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I don't taste it at all.
Next thing you know.
I'm gonna give it I'm just gonna give it a solid 7. I think it is good, and I would totally drink this on a GTA Tuesday. I might need to drink an extra 1 or 2, but I would drink it on a GTA Tuesday.
I like the fact that you can tip them back a few times.
Yeah, no, totally.
For a while.
So last note, we are gonna keep watching Psycho Pass.
Yep.
It's our animated watch for the
I'm,
month. So
3
we're gonna
episodes
keep
in
doing
episode, season 2.
Let's just call it for 30 days because our month is all askew. We'll get back
Yeah.
on track
Yeah.
as we go. But I guess on that note, should we cheers? I want to thank
Wait,
Benny
wait,
again for
where
joining
can
us.
we
Yeah.
catch Benny on?
Yeah, promote yourself. Where do we hear you?
plug it.
Well, I work for 11:50 a.m. Talk Radio. It's out of Seattle, and so I'm a producer, big time producer, pretty much. I run about 30 to 35 hosts and shows a month.
Wow.
So I was asked by Dina Marie, and who has a show. It's Lift Your Spirits with Dina Marie on Fridays at 8. Visit the show at 1150kknw.com or on terrestrial radio, which is actually 11:50 a.m. out of Seattle. I produce that show, and then I produce again a number of shows, and she connected
Which we
me
got
with
to
you two.
Yeah, she was
you
on
guys
our
have been
show.
on- Yep,
We got
exactly.
to come
Yep.
and be in the studio with you
Yep,
and Dina. It was
exactly.
super
It
cool.
was super cool, and thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome.
Beer
Thanks
and
for
chatter.
joining
I
us.
love that.
Yeah,
Beer and chatter.
let's do it. I was gonna ask him all that at the after party, but thanks, intern. You're on it.
Yeah, good job. Yeah.
So one last time, don't mess it up this time. Pressure's on.
I didn't know I was supposed to say it.
To all the nerds,
Through all the
fuzz,
fuzz,
bottoms up. Let's get nerd buzz.
Woo! Get it.
I did 2 explosions.
Talking about beer.
Hope you don't.
Talking about
Oh, we do.
We'll bring it up later. Don't worry
Forget
about
it. This show's over.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Forget it.
Hostile.
Forget it. We're done. We're
Marcus
done.
and
Fire.
He's got the
I
one.
want 3
He's
next
got the-
time.
he's got the one that
That was
You're on Nerdbuzzed.
pretty easy, casual, right?
Yeah, no, that's cool. You guys have a really good concept. I mean,
Let's get
run with it.
Nerdbuzzed.